Silence growing ever deeper, crashing, feel this getting weaker. Burn out, torn up into pieces, faded, barely even breathing. Oh, it's getting steeper. Eyes closed, hold on to what we were. Struggling reach now. No one can save us now. Still just keep falling till we hit the ground. Hit the ground, hit the ground. Torn up into pieces, faded, barely even breathing. Struggling, reaching out. No one can save us now. Still just keep falling till we hit the ground. Hit the ground, hit the ground. So hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground. Hit the ground. Still just keep falling. So hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground.
Well, here we go. It's time to get the party started. You ready, Jen?
Yep, let's do this.
Do it.
Distance nerding.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday. It's not Taco Tuesday, but you know what it is? It is the day where we get that stress out. We hang out here. You are now watching the build. And oh man, we're ready to get some build. I'm going to be continuing this 89 Batmobile. And we've got an amazing guest on the show this week. But before we get into all of that, Jen, how's everything going?
It's me, Jen.
I've got a soundbite for that.
I know I'm not going to be as good as Grave on this Thursday,
Oh.
but I'm going to try my best.
Get out of here. You're gonna give Grave a run for his money.
Whatever. Two totally different people. I do not have any beard at all, so that's the first thing. My hair is longer than his. Although I guess I could do a beard with my hair.
Just go get Husby, and he can make up as the beard for you.
Yeah, that's true. He could. But
Yeah.
he does. He's not digital. He's only live appearances. So
Right.
if you guys ever want to see Husby, you'll have to be live. No, I'm doing good. I had kind of a interesting week, just health wise, but I'm here. And how about you? How's your week been going?
It's been good. Obviously, I haven't gotten a haircut or a shave, so I'm just starting to get a lot more raggedy, more and more of the day. But hopefully that changes on Monday. So
don't say raggedy, because Gal's right there. She'll want to leap up in your lap.
She's gonna hop up and bring Raggedy Andy with her. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into all of the fun that we've got planned out here today, of course, we're brought to you by the one and only source of energy that Phil has. Ladies and gentlemen, we are brought to you by W. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. W is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. W contains no maltodextrin, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, why? Why should I choose W over all the other things that are out there? Let me tell you why. Because W contains Neurofactor. Neurofactor is a neurotropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Find out more about W at www.w.gg. Use the code NERDING10. Get 10% off your order. Now, with that being said, I got to W it up. So I've got my water. Frey and chat, chime in. I've got all the flavors. Tell me what flavors you guys think I should combine this week. What do you think, Frey?
Is there like a lemonade-y thing?
So I have technically 2 lemonades. I have a cherry limeade, but then I also have God, what was the other one? This one right here, dragon fruit pink lemonade.
I think you should smush those together.
Smush those together. All right.
Although Chris says blurpleberry and snozberry.
Oh man, if there was a blurpleberry or a schnozberry, I would be, because then I can literally say the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
His next one is dragon fruit and balls.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what's going to happen right now, and not just regular balls, sweaty balls. Sweaty balls. All right. Well, we're doing a whole aid of 80ness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, head over to w.com, use the code NERDING10, get 10% off. Well worth it. Delicious stuff. And I will be drinking that to give me some some energy all through the entire thing here. I will not be here, but I just know.
I'll have Cypher season 2. Yeah, and he's starting season 3 tomorrow.
Nice.
Awesome, Sean. Reviews.
Congrats on that, man. So already kind of leaning in here, so let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this week is better known on the internet as Kerbifer. He's an American voice actor, animator, producer. Portfolio includes Mob Psycho 100, like you just mentioned right there, Queensblade Rebellion, Pokemon, OKKO, the Viz Media dub of Sailor Moon, Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, well, all the Godzilla animated movies that are fucking awesome, Mobile Suit Gundam, and so much more. The creator of Terrain of Magical Expertise, or Tome for all of you laymen out there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show the one, the only, the uber talented Chris Niosi.
Oh, my own sound effect and everything. Incredible. Wow. And once again, I'm so happy that you managed to pronounce my screen name correctly. And my last name correctly, both of which really, really just, always screw people up somehow. So, points to you, Phil. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the appreciation.
So there's actually in San Antonio during Fiesta, there's called Night in Old San Antonio, and it's Niosa.
Oh.
It's like Niosi. So now I'm thinking, I really just want to go and, pound some drinks and have some good food.
have a nice sip of Niosa on me.
There you go.
I remember once looking up, because I'm like 90% Italian, and I was trying to look up like what Niosi means, because for years of my life I was like, I don't actually know what it means. And then I found two translations, one that was a more Grecian thing of like it means the sun, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's the other one that I found was something akin to like a disease or an infection. And I'm like, well, I mean, Crisniosis sounds kind of like it could be a horrible condition to have. It's also known as a case of the curbs. I'll see myself out. All right. Anyway, speaking of the curbs,
I've got something for this on the other side.
Oh!
Hold on, he's got something.
I've got something for this over here too. So. Wow.
Yeah.
Really made me feel good about myself.
My soundboard's on the other side of the room, so I have to go all the way over there just because my building table's here, but the soundboard's over there.
I'm so busy making Legos. Like, what do you want from me?
That's absolutely what he's saying. It's all about Phil.
I'm trying to I'm trying to make the comedy keep going. Okay, just
Trying.
don't touch me.
Trying to make it keep going.
not happening today, but that's okay.
It's all right.
It's the thought
So
that
how
counts.
are you doing today, Chris?
I'm good. A little bit of a lax day. Had an audition this morning and went to the gym for a little bit. Just started doing a little bit of drawing. I had mentioned to Phil at the convention that we just did a few weeks ago, Beaver State Comic Con in Oregon. I'm dealing with a bad injury with my arm, so I've been a little bit limited on my ability to draw as of late. But I have been slowly getting back into it. I've been taking breaks and pacing myself, and I've been storyboarding on new projects that I'm working on. And just started playing Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door remake on Switch with a couple friends the other day, which we just kind of dove into that. They've never played the game before, and I have, so I'm kind of their walking, talking player's guide. And we're doing voices while we're going over it and stuff, so that'll be coming up. And
that is the most fun stuff to do. We did that with, I want to say we did that with Mario Wonderland, and we did that with Dead Space. Where we like one of the guys, I think it was Graveyard playing. One of the guys was playing, and the rest of us were just making up voices for all the characters.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's something that I did early on, even before I was working professionally in voiceover, where I would come up with character voices for every character as I'm going through a game, and I would develop a bunch of stuff. And even if maybe one or two characters would, they're just kind of new voice ideas would come out of a single game for however many hours you go for it. If it makes for something good for demo material or a new idea for, if you're auditioning for something where it's appropriate for, and it's just practice. It's reading, it's making acting choices. It's going for it, so it's all tremendously helpful in the long run, I would say. And it's fun. It's just fun.
I mean, that's mostly why we did it, was because it was fun.
It is. I mean, it's always fun to give people voices, and sometimes they're appropriate. Sometimes
they're not. Yeah, I mean, I do that with people watching, where just people walk down the street and it's like, I'm going to make a voice for this person.
See, and I'm the person that comes up with the story behind the person, like the reason they're here and what they're looking for and why they're doing. Yeah, that's me. So
yeah.
But so, are you, speaking of auditions, are you the person that you feel like if you do horrible, that's when you get the part, or if you feel like you nailed it, that's when you get the part?
You know what? I don't think that way. I definitely get that thought process because it's not even so much that like, oh, I did a bad job and I booked it, or did a good job and I didn't get it. It's more so sometimes I think that the idea behind that line of thinking is more so when you're not thinking about it too hard and you just kind of do it and you just put it out there and then it kind of where it happens to work out. That's kind of more of what that is in the reality.
Right.
Is that, and sometimes that comes from a place of just it just came so naturally to you that it just happened to work out. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many people that do this, and there's so many different studios and casting people and decision makers in our business that you kind of just throw spaghetti at the wall, and then whatever works out works out. And I try not to think about it too hard. The other thing is, in our business, we have a lot of people that my colleagues and I work with that just know all of our abilities and things, and so often we'll just be kind of called in and cast for jobs without an audition. I'm working on the show Reincarnated as a Slime for Crunchyroll right now, and the folks at Okratron, which is Chris Sabat studio, Chris Sabat of Dragon Ball fame and many other things, and Brittany Lauda and Austin Sisk, who are two of the decision makers over there. They just called me in. I didn't have to audition for Reynard, who's my new character on the season that's been airing last couple weeks, and I've had a blast, and it's been great, and I owe it to them just like thinking of me and knowing my ability and knowing my past work and stuff, and give me that opportunity. But also when you earn a job, like earn it in the sense of like you audition for it like everybody else, and you just happen to book it out of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people that read for shit, then if it happens to work out, it's like, oh wow, they picked me,
Right.
through the many different people that they listened to in the midst of that. So
That's cool. Yeah, I have acted in the past and have auditioned for stuff and been that kind of like, I don't know if I'm just doing a character I think you got that sounds like this person, and so I just didn't know, and it's not something you really ask your fellow actors about, like, hey, do you think you really bombed that? So but it's just always funny to me, like, to hear people go, oh, I thought I was way off base in that, and they loved it, and that's where we went, and how things change from audition to what actually comes on the screen, or like through your voice acting, can be totally different than what you start out with. So I know that it's a process, but I just wondered because you talked about doing an audition today.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
But getting into the actual conversation, that was just me being me. So I know you talked to Phil at Beaver State, so we're gonna I'll probably be asking you some stuff that you've already answered, but we'll pretend.
Sure, and I'll tolerate your repeated question. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can ask me.
Well, actually, I do have one new question in here that I know I didn't ask you at Beaver State because to make sure that we had enough time for everything. So I'll start with the one that we always start with, but then I'll give you one that I didn't ask you at Beaver State. So for the new fans and the people who weren't at Beaver State, we have a segment on the show.
You.
I know, right? If you weren't there, what the fuck? But if you were, we have a segment called Growing Up Geeky. What did you geek out on when you were a kid?
Oh, right. Yes, I do remember this. We talked about quite a few of these different nerd obsessions from my childhood personally. And I had just done earlier this month, I did a video on my channel about my collections of different things that I was obsessed with and nerded out on a lot as a kid. And my first major one like that for many years was Thomas the Tank Engine. I collected a lot of the metal collectible train figures, the Brio wooden train set, Thomas toys, a lot of VHS tapes. I had both like the Ringo Starr and the George Carlin tapes of the early episodes of that.
Oh, wow.
My parents and I collected for many years. Oh yeah, that was like late 80s, early 90s. And Then it probably in the midst of that, a lot of Disney stuff. I collected quite a few toys from Disney movies that were coming out at the time, Lion King, Aladdin, that kind of thing. And then Power Rangers was a big one when that first hit, when Mighty Morphin first hit. I had this giant duffel bag of all the Zords and the Rangers and the bad guys and the weapons and all this stuff. My God. And it was insane. Was that a Raphael Power Ranger pop right there?
Raphael as the Red Ranger.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I love it.
I guess Mikey's SOL because there's no Orange Ranger as far as I've ever seen. Sad for him, but Power Rangers, that was a huge one for me. Then there were a lot of Bionicle for a while. The first generation of Bionicle I collected a lot of, and one that's never stopped is Pokemon. And that was my very first voiceover job too. Funnily enough, so that was a dream come true. It was 2009 I did that. But I was obsessed with Pokemon, 10 years before that. When the series first came to the U.S. And I collected the cards, I collected the VHS tapes, and I owned the first season of the show on VHS and DVD from way back. And my dad and I collected a lot of the little 2-inch Pokemon figures that we had the first 2 generations worth. I collected God knows how many of the games. I'm still playing the games to this day. Looking forward to watching the Horizons anime series, the new one that just started this past year or so. And so those are just Dragon Ball I'm still obsessed with. I've collected quite a bit of that stuff. The list could go on and on of how many things I've nerded out on. So
no Bob the Builder.
No, that was a little after. That was by the time I'd grown out of the preschool. I remember when Blue's Clues was new. Yeah. And that was even I did watch some of it, but even that was by the time I was kind of getting out of the age range of that.
Right.
But it was it was Thomas the Tank Engine, Eureka's Castle.
Okay.
Eureka's Castle was a good one.
Yeah, that was and Barney. I didn't like Barney as a child, but it was on,
nobody really liked Barney.
No, you want to know something wild? Okay, I don't know how super nerdy you guys are with Dragon Ball, but do you guys know the character Babidi?
Yes.
I don't.
If you search real quick, Babidi, Google that real quick, Jen. And you'll find this character. He's this evil little wizard character who's one of the major villains of the last kind of big story arc of Dragon Ball Z.
Right. And
just this gross, disgusting looking little no-like creature. He's this evil wizard, voiced by the guy who played Barney.
Oh,
I didn't know that he played. I didn't know he played Babidi.
Yeah. He was also Chuck E. Cheese for a long time as well. Duncan Brannon, who's a really funny guy. I've actually had the pleasure of directing him. Very briefly. He's a really funny dude.
Is he the little green guy?
Yeah, little creepy green dude with the kind of tiny bits of hair. Yeah, he's disgusting. That's Barney's voice, doing this evil little guy like this, and it's the best. That's one of my favorite characters.
Awesome. Just because that just shows his range, man.
No, that's the funny thing is it's such a gift when you get to do a whole wide array of different really character-y kind of stuff, because not every actor, even people that do primarily animation voiceover, we don't always get to do that necessarily, so it's a rare treat when you get to have such a wide array of stuff in your career. So
no, that's awesome, because actually at a show a while back, we interviewed Rick Robertson, who played Deborah.
Yes.
So as soon as you said Babidi, I was like, oh man, we interviewed his underling.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've also had the pleasure of directing Rick very briefly too, and he's a great guy. And it's funny because he's naturally is all the way. I can't even get that low. Just naturally is at the. And it's funny because I think they pitch him down a little bit for Deborah, but he's already so yes. Yeah, he's already down there. I'm just God damn, dude, wow.
We had Rick Robertson, Elise Bowman, and and all of a sudden I'm forgetting his name.
What's the character?
Goku, but
Sean Schemmel.
Not Sean.
Okay, one of the 6 other Gokus.
Peter. Peter.
About Columbus. Yeah, I actually just did a convention with him. I met him for the first time in person at a con I did right before Beaver State. I'm kind of getting back into the convention scene again in this last year or so.
Right, but we had the three of them doing a Dragon Ball panel, and it was mostly because, you know, they were like, oh, we're going to do a Dragon Ball Z panel. It's like, well, none of them were on at the same time.
Yeah,
because Peter did the first 3 seasons in the 80s.
90s, yeah.
In the 90s, yeah. Rick did the later seasons. It was what, season 7?
Yeah.
And Elise was in GT, so it's like, you know, like,
that's right.
Like, none of them have ever met. So I came up with this idea. I was like, okay, so we're gonna do this interview, and we're gonna change it to just Dragon Ball in general. But I was like, let's do an improv scene. You guys are all improv actors. Let's do Goku travels back in. Goku travels to the future, meets that version of Goku, meets his granddaughter for the first time, and then they get attacked by Deborah. Go.
Yeah, who's not dead magically. But then again, we have Xenoverse where just you can come in and slice a hole open. And I'm like, I'm gonna send this bad guy out, and suddenly, whoa, wacky shenanigans, you know.
Right. And and again, it was just the funniest thing because again, they're all improv actors, so it became like a Dragon Ball improv like just scene.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Rick comes in when he enters the scene. He goes, "Does anybody want any cookies?" And if you know the joke, it's because he gets turned into a cookie and eaten, right? So it's
I would think that he would never want to touch cookies for the rest of his life because he got turned into one and got vored by Boo. It's like one of the actually not quite as horrifying as some of Boo's other.
Boo's done some pretty nasty things, but just I thought it was funny that again you're an improv comedian and your first joke coming in is, "Does anybody want any cookies?"
Maybe he was thinking of the filler version of Deborah where he like goes to heaven and he gets reformed and he's all like happy and picking flowers and stuff for the other ghosts and things. That could very well be.
I don't know. All I can think of anytime I think of any character in Dragon Ball, and it's in the show that we will not mention, but mahogany.
Well, it's funny if Chris Rager goes to a convention and anybody asks anything about King Yema, that's all he has to say, really. Unfortunately, that's like completely married to that character at this point. Same thing, Chris Kaysen, who I worked with on Mob Psycho. He was our voice director for that show, and ReZero and Asterisk War, a lot of other stuff. He does Mr. Popo, and you can imagine if you're Mr. Popo and you go to an anime convention, what are 90% of the questions going to be about? So
but he's the real Mr. Popo. So
yes, of course.
Yeah, you get people asking you about that version of Popo, which is arguably a much more interesting version of Popo.
Interesting is that's a word.
That's why I said arguably interesting.
And horrifying.
He very much is horrifying. It is. He's such a scary character, but it's.
You want to know something funny? You know the scene where what is it? He's like, "I'm going to call you Little Green." It's like, "Oh, it's your funeral," and then his smile like, "I like you." I did the animation for that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was God knows how many years ago. Yeah. If you search most like of the if you see thumbnail where like, oh, it's a funny face from like a random episode of that parody, like it's probably something that I drew. So it's pretty funny.
Cool.
Wow.
The internet's always a much smaller place than you think it is. It's bizarre.
I didn't know you did any of the cross animation on that.
Yeah, it's funny. People are like so unexpectedly like surprised when they find out. Sorry, my head is like suddenly itching me a little bit. Infested with termites up here. When they find out, like, wait, you animated that? Wait, you were involved with that? Actually, just I was just talking about this on Twitter today, but there's a new episode of the Smiling Friends that's going to be airing this weekend that I got to animate on,
cool.
which was amazing. Yeah, because I've known a lot of those guys from my Newgrounds days, from like late early 2010s and late 2000s. Excuse me, and Studio Yada. Which is run by my buddy Jake. They've done a lot of great work for Smiling Friends and a lot of other different animation companies and things. They do amazing stuff, and they had me come on to do a little bit of cleanup animation and stuff. So I actually worked on the final shot. Without spoiling it, I worked on the final shot of the upcoming episode that'll be airing on what is it, June 2nd, I think, on Sunday, I think. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. That was a great experience. But it's so funny. People are always like, wait, like you, or like Skullgirls. I animated a bunch of stuff on Skullgirls, the video game. That was like my first job out of college, was working on that. And yeah, so I've been kind of all over the place on the internet in weird, unexpected, little holes that I would pop out of from time to time.
Like the whack-a-mole.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, get him out! Oh, Jesus, not Niosi again! Get him out!" Oh. I like to think I'm not whack-a-mole. I'm that little the crocodile game with the ouch, which is superior to whack-a-mole. IMO. Anyway.
No, I love that, because I mean I knew you were an animator, but I didn't know you work on on that property. Like I didn't know you didn't just do that voice.
Yeah, no, people find out all the time. Like they don't even know. Wait, you worked on the Nintendo collabs, and you animated Brawl Taunts, and wait, you did the Mario RPG Frost Forest thing, all the time. People 20 years later are like, wait, I didn't know that was you, and my name was Platt. But then again, also there was an era where people were taking my stuff and putting early days of YouTube. People would take my stuff off Newgrounds and post it without any credit. A lot of people didn't even know I was involved with certain things. And then also there's the opposite end where there's people that know me only for that stuff, and then they find out, wait, you've been doing voiceover? Wait, you're Reagan in Mob Psycho? And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this since 2009 professionally. How about that, right? So it's so strange. The internet is smaller than you think it is, but it's also so massive that people don't always know as much as they think that they do about that stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's true. So you're an internet renaissance man.
I wouldn't call myself a renaissance man. Sure.
You wouldn't call yourself a renaissance man. We would.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I don't is because I think that there are other people that have been around, longer, and even after me, that I think have been more of I guess revolutionary in terms of what they've done for internet culture and just creativity and stuff. I'm just one of many people that I just put my thing out there and that's it.
Right,
people
so
like it, they
first
like
of all,
it. So.
Phrasing. I put my thing out there.
All right, look, listen. Definitely don't take that out of context, and then someone clips it right at that moment. So.
It is the internet.
I'm just kidding.
Yep.
No, it's okay. As long as we say phrasing, it's fine.
Yes, of course. And they'll cut it out. They'll conveniently cut it out. So
there you go.
But I'm over it.
So with that being said, so if a movie was made about your life, who would play you and why?
You know what's really funny about that? So I've literally done this in a certain sense. So throughout a lot of the stuff that I've created, in fact, literally, this character right here is the prime example of this. So Kerbifer, this is my from when I'm 35 currently as of this recording, and I created this screen name Kerbifer when I was 12 years old on AOL Instant Messenger. If anybody remembers AIM from way back. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was on it. This is a much longer story, but I created characters for people based on their screen names on a forum I was going to. It was called TV Tome, which is kind of where the original, the people that the Tome characters were based on kind of all came from. This early 2000s. And so I created Kerbifer originally as this little weird imp-looking thing. Then I made him into a white Kirby with a Link hat. And then I took that design and made it into this little imp guy. And this became the design of my character for my web series, Tome, as you mentioned earlier. Yeah. So I voiced him in the show. And then a few years later, I made a video game based off of Tome that was set in a different continuity. And I went with a different voice cast compared to the animated series. And so my way of making it fair to everybody was well, I'm not just going to be the one person that keeps my part and have everybody else be different. So I was okay, I have to pick somebody else to voice my own shameless self-insert character. Right. That I'm comfortable with. And I went through quite a few people, a lot of which are actually people that, all of which are colleagues and friends and people that I adore the work of very much. And people that I grew up listening to in a lot of the shows that I watched as a kid. even some of the ones that I have collected stuff from the nerd, obsession question earlier,
So Ringo Starr, you're saying Ringo Starr?
Yeah, he was like, well, I suppose I could, but that was the worst Ringo Starr impression of my life. But no, and then I wound up with Aaron Dismuke, who, when he was a young lad, he was the voice of Alphonse in the first Full Metal Alchemist series, the 2003 one.
Yeah.
And then in Brotherhood, because he was grown up by that point, he played young Hohenheim in the flashback episodes of that. And he's gone on he's directed and written stuff. He's amazing. He's Senku, the main character from Dr. Stone. He's in tons of stuff. He's incredible and wonderful, wonderful guy. And I offered him the part, and he said yes. And I got to direct another actor playing me, because Kerbifer is a very exaggerated, more extreme version of myself, basically. And Aaron and I have so many similar instincts on performance. So a lot of his choices, I was like, that's exactly what I would do. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I made the right decision with this. And he was brilliant. So, so I've literally been in that position where I was directing someone to play me in a certain sense. And
that's awesome.
Lo and behold, it happened, so.
That is amazing. By the way, if anybody wants to send us an email, remember, you can send us an email at distancenerding@AOL.com. Yes, that's a real thing.
Yes, at AOL.com. Do you have an AIM screen name associated with that account? You better.
It's probably that.
It is distance nerding. I thought it was funny that you said AIM, and it's like, oh, well, I don't know if anybody remembers that. Yeah, literally our email is an AOL account.
So funny. Yeah. Actually, a funny little fun fact, but the reason why on a lot of my social media I'm Kerbifer15, for the most part, I was able to take that because the numbering is it just sounds so cringy. But on some places, well, actually my YouTube, for example, which is youtube.com/Kerbifer15. Thank you very much. And my TikTok, because somebody already took Kerbifer without any numbers, weirdly. So thanks to that person. The reason that it's 15 specifically is because when I made my first AIM account when I was 12, it was Kerbifer12. I was playing Kirby's Adventure for the NES on the very first time that I ever experienced playing something on an emulator, which I don't condone because now you can buy anything legally, and they put all these old school games on the Nintendo eShop and stuff like that. Excuse me, but I made it when I was 12. I took the game I was playing, my full name or my first name, and how old I was. So Kirby Christopher 12, Kerbifer 12. And then my account kept getting corrupted or something. So I kept having to make a new account up until Kerbifer 16. And then I just stopped using AIM, and I'm like, I'm done. But but by the time that I got to 15, I made my YouTube account, and then it was stuck that way forever. So I've been Kerbifer15 on YouTube, for 20 years now, which is insane to think about. But that's
so now you don't want to change it, branding.
Well, I mean, I've been able to for the most part, on Twitter and whatever else. I'm just Kerbifer, but the 15 is still there, and I made it a plot point in some of my stories actually, where 1111 is 15 in binary, and I always like the look of on digits, 1111. I always thought that kind of looked cool, so I kind of did something with that, and somehow I've made it kind of meld into my identity a little bit, and I've kind of adapted to make it work. So what can I say?
You got to lean into it, right?
I suppose so.
So all right, so you've done now. I will say that I probably haven't seen most of the stuff that you've voice acted in or animated. Just
That's okay.
because
but I have seen a lot of it.
Then why am I here? No, I'm okay.
I have seen a lot of it, though.
My husband probably has, though. He loves anime. Huge in anime. But I was going to say, I do recognize Pokemon and Sailor Moon.
Of course. So. Well, you'd have to live under a rock if you didn't at this point.
Right?
So,
so I kind of want you to tell us about your how it's different, the big franchises like a Pokemon or a Sailor Moon versus when you're doing your creator stuff, your Kerbifer stuff. How different is that, or is it the same?
Aside from creative freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, there's the creative freedom to just do whatever. When I'm making something, I'm making it, and there's no overhead, there's no approval or anything like that. I know that with I remember actually with Sailor Moon, they took, because that's the second dub of the original 90s series that we did from way back. And Viz, because that was a big deal that Viz, I think a lot of companies really wanted to get Sailor Moon, because for years fans were like, it'd be cool if like another company kind of picked it up and did like a proper uncut dub where they kept the original names and the original music and didn't cut all the gay stuff. What a concept, right? So they took very good care, very particular care of wanting to make it more accurate to the original story, and preserving what the original intent was and the original characterizations and voices and things, and while still having it be a fun dub, not having it be like very strictly like direct translation-y, because I actually don't like dubs that are like a little too like direct translation-y, because then they don't feel like you're reading a story. It feels like you're reading a translation. Even in subtitles, like there's liberties taken from translators and stuff to kind of make it conversational sounding and stuff. And Viz and Studiopolis, where we did the show, and they've done Naruto and Bleach. They do all the Sonic the Hedgehog games and stuff. They're some of the best guys that do this. And we had a great director, Susie Goldish, who's worked on Naruto and Bleach and tons of stuff. She worked at 4Kids back in the day. And we spent a lot of time on working on that show, and we had some clients' involvement with overseeing some of the early stuff. We actually went back and we re-recorded some of the early episodes that I worked on to like really make sure the character was defined and the voice was consistent and everything. So there's a lot of particular care taken into that, and sometimes that can be like overkill if it's like over directing. But honestly, I very rarely, I didn't have that experience on Pokemon or Sailor Moon, and I very rarely have that experience in general. Like usually when there's very heavy client involvement, or the director is giving you a lot of back information and everything, I particularly like that. I worked on a project a few months ago, an animated movie. And they had two directors giving different stuff, and we did like 100 takes of like every single line, and it wasn't annoying to do that. I felt like I was working on like a Pixar movie. I felt like, because that's what they do on those animated movies when they get like celebrities and stuff, is they really do like every possible way you could say a line, so they have all the options in the world to animate to you and make it the best it can be. And as someone who works in production as well, I love that. So I feel a level of like understanding when I'm working creatively with folks, and we want to get the best that we can get out of it. But the different, I mean, like the major difference is that if it's something I'm doing myself and I'm directing myself, if I'm recording something in it, then it's just as simple as I just do it until it's done. And if it's the take that I want, it's the take I want, and I use it. So.
Well, no, I mean, but that to me is, I mean, it shows the differences in like how you can do something yourself versus how you have this whole big production company, and how they can treat you there versus you doing it yourself. Sometimes I think we're harder on ourselves than when we're just being told how to do it. But
absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. And I guess because there's a question in here about Final Fantasy and Mobile Suit Gundam.
Okay.
I said that right. I said that's right. All right.
It's hard to screw up those. If it was like a long, like an isekai, like Japanese name or something, I would understand. But you can't really screw up Final Fantasy, Mobile Suit Gundam.
Well, I could have said Suit Mobile Gundam, or Gundam Mobile Suit, because look, I have been known to do stuff like that before. But no, so those are huge franchises. Mm-hmm. I've heard of them. Mm-hmm. I know, like video games.
I know what that is.
I understand them. I just I'm not that familiar. But so how is the pressure on those projects like versus like, I don't know, like Pokemon?
Well, Final Fantasy VII was a quick little thing. That was really funny. That was right at the end of the year. I was literally about to leave to go home to visit my folks for Christmas. And I got a call from my agent saying, hey, the studio, I had just worked with this gentleman, Bob Buckles, who was the voice of Gene Starwind on Outlaw Star back in the day. And he's like an old school anime. He was on the original Akira and stuff as well. I was working with him on a live action dub for this like soccer show for Disney called Once. And he remembered me. And then like a month later, they needed like 1 million people for background voices for this mysterious game project. And so I got called in. They said, "Can you come in on a Saturday?" And I'm like, "Sure, it's work. Absolutely. Are you kidding me?" So I did. I showed up to Skylark, and Bob welcomed me in, and he was like, "Did they tell you what you're doing?" And I'm like, "No, I just know it's background voices." He's like, "Oh, it's Final Fantasy VII." And I'm like, "Cool." So kept it together as best as I could, and did that for a few hours, and it was like just buried. I did like like three like long takes of just background chatter for different scenes throughout the first volume of the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff from 2020 at the time. And that was great. It was pretty pretty straightforward, honestly, to do. There was somebody from Square Enix that was in the room, but yeah, very straightforward. It's more so just it was a lot of work because a lot of screaming and a lot of like kind of having to improv words and stuff, even if it's layered in the background. Like even down to just doing like kind of environmental like kind of noise of just like NPCs talking to each other in the background that you can't even understand. There's attention to detail put into that too. And you gotta deliver the goods on that and be ready to just do 3 tracks of different voices and whatever and lay them in to make it feel like a real world that you're in. With Gundam, I remember I worked on 3 different Gundam shows, and Gundam Origin in particular, which was the biggest one the one that I played the biggest part in, which was Garmizabi. That was quite a bit. There was a lot of pressure on that one because we had 2 folks in from Japan there sitting in the sessions, and Stephanie Shea, who's the voice of Sailor Moon actually in the dub that I worked on. She's the director of a lot of the, not everything, but most of the more recent Gundam stuff in the last like decade or so since Unicorn, and she like really taught me a lot because she was not harsh, but like she was very hands-on and very specific with and we were working because it was those Gundam Origin OVAs that we did 6 of those, and then they later got released as a series that they aired on TV. But we did those in tandem with Japan, and they released them simultaneously in both languages. So we had moments where we were working off of an animatic, like incomplete animation, and didn't know what the exact sync of the mouth flaps were going to be. So we did lots of takes on that, and she was very specific on the intention and really trying to push me outside of my comfort zone for a lot of my usual acting choices and stuff. And I learned a lot working on that project, and Garma is one of my favorite characters that I ever got to do. I find him really fascinating, and so after that experience, did that change like how you on the production side, how you do things or directing? I don't think it did necessarily, because I know that also, like, if I need something very specific, like, I try to, hone in on it for sure. But also it's different even for me because I'm usually the one animating it. So even then it's a little bit, it's a little bit different than that comparatively. But
so, like, you can match both together and kind of meld them.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Oh,
he's also not relying on mouth flaps, so
that's true.
There you go. Okay, so Tone.
Mm-hmm.
Terrain of magical expertise.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
You did.
All right. So this thanks. This is
I always believed in you.
No, don't offend on this one because this is his baby.
My favorite. Real quick, I mentioned Sean Schemmel earlier. He hadn't. I don't think he had seen the show, but he knew it was a thing I was making, and he's like, I thought it was called like To Me. Like it was like Your Name, like the movie Your Name. And I'm like, no, Sean, it's Tom. He's like, oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's cool, man. All right, anyway.
So it's about Professor X. To me, my X.
Yes, to me, my X. Yes, of course.
To me,
that's the sequel, Tome X. Yeah, Tome like X. in the year 2000 XX. So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was the OnlyFans version.
Oh dear X. God. No, I leave that to I leave that only to the fans to draw that stuff if they want.
There you go.
Dear God.
Okay, so I know nothing about this, so I would love to know about this project.
Sure. Would you like me to elevator pitch to you? Sure.
It might be my first anime.
Okay, here's something. Do you like? Have you ever seen this? Way back in the day, you ever seen the show Reboot?
reboot.
Oh,
Have you,
I love it.
or have you seen the movie Tron, the Disney movie Tron?
Yeah, Tron. I saw
Okay.
Tron back in the day.
There was also there's an anime series from the mid 2000s called Dot Hack. You ever heard of that before? Okay, so basically, I'll give you the little setup, and then I'll give you the actual elevator pitch of the show. Mid 2000s, I was very obsessed with cyber world stuff. This was an era of right after Tron happened, then we got Reboot, which was the first CG animated series, and it was about a computer world and like what goes on inside of a computer. And Dot Hack was an anime and a video game series about a bunch of people playing a virtual reality MMORPG. This is, of course, when World of Warcraft was picking up and everything. And then also, I'm a big Mega Man fan, and there's been many, many different Mega Man. I just made a Mega Man joke a second ago, Mega Man X joke. There was a series called Mega Man Battle Network, which was for the Game Boy Advance, and it was like basically Mega Man trying to kind of like have their own sort of Pokemon version of Mega Man. It was like more kind of kid-oriented, collectible type of battle anime type thing. That a series that went on for many seasons. I was a huge fan of it, still am. And that inspired me a lot in the mid-2000s. So on that forum I mentioned, where I met a lot of my early internet friends, and I created the Kerbifer character, and I based characters off of people's screen names. I was like, what would Flame Girl look like as a character, or Game Crazed, or Nylok, or Alpha, or Demon King, and all these different things. And so I came up with this story that was I took all the characters that I made out of myself and all these friends that I made on the internet and made a little story about them playing in this kind of MMORPG cyber world together, and kind of formulated this thing and had some sci-fi elements of the you die in the game, you die for real type stuff, as was often the trend back then. And so the first version that I did on Newgrounds was called TV Tome Adventures, and I did that for like 70 episodes. It was like sprite animation and really rudimentary stuff, a lot of text boxes, very simple kind of stuff. And then when I finished college in 2011, I did a proper like fully animated, fully voiced version of it. It was 16 episodes. I did that for about 4 years. So that version, Tome, Terrain of Magical Expertise, is a series about this group of friends that play this game. This in the futuristic year of 2020. Where everyone has a VR helmet and they can play this game together, and it translates your thoughts into actions. So it has this
Well,
very
real world now.
yeah.
Actually happening now.
We're on our way.
Minus COVID.
Yes, yeah.
It's
Although
the-
actually, I did retroactively kind of imply that it is taking place during the pandemic because of the way that the world turned out. Yeah. So and it starts with these friends kind of playing this game together. There are these hackers that start kind of showing up, and with their like souped up versions of their characters, they're destroying areas in the game, and they're looking for this mysterious item. This character named Alpha finds this mysterious item that is rumored and called the Forbidden Power, and suddenly he gets this manipulative kind of energy that can break the game and kind of like break the reality of the game itself, and it can cause harm to people in real life through the headset of the game. So, and then the mystery kind of unravels from there. There's characters that have multiple accounts under these kind of dual identities. There's kind of a conspiracy happening where the hackers are being hired by this other group of characters. Our heroes are kind of like this hapless sort of involved with they get kind of like wrapped up in this mystery and everything. Things kind of come to a head with a tournament that happens, and a lot more of the mysteries kind of get resolved and unveiled as time goes on. And at the end of the day, it's also just kind of a fun story about these characters kind of building trust with each other and how they deal with trusting the other characters in different ways. That's kind of the core theme of it. I just, this past year, in 2023, for the 12th anniversary of the series, I took the 16 episodes that I did and I compiled them together into a trilogy of movies. Which some anime have done this before, where they'll take the episode footage and make them into films and add some new scenes and stuff. So on my channel, if you look up the Tome A to Z trilogy, like A, the number 2, and Z, that's, in my opinion, the best way to experience Tome. is to watch those 3 movies, and they're a fun experience. They expand upon what the original story was a little bit from the perspective of certain characters, and it's a project that I'm really proud of. So
awesome! I'm actually doing it right now. Well, I'm gonna subscribe. I'm subscribing with my Jennifer account.
Excellent.
But then I'll actually go and subscribe to with my free account.
Sure.
I was actually gonna say Dragon Ball does that all the time.
Well, no, not the way you're thinking. Actually, back to Gundam. The original Mobile Suit Gundam, like the very first series from like the late 70s or early 80s, they did that where they took, I think it was 52 episodes, and they compiled those 52 episodes into 3 films where they took the footage and they added some stuff and cut different things and made them into movies. It's more kind of like that, actually.
Got it. Okay, so they're like adding additional scenes and not reanimating it the way that like Dragon Ball does it with like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They did like Super, and then like the first season of Super, and then made a movie out of it. And it was
no. Actually, it's the opposite for Super. They took the 2 Battle of Gods and Resurrection F movies and made them into episodes instead.
That's what it was. Right?
And they actually did do new animation for those and interpreted them a little bit differently than the actual movies were. So
I noticed that like the first season, or like when Resurrection of F became like a part of the series, like it just different. It was like you know, the animation was different, but it was like it felt different, and that's kind of like where my idea was going with that.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball's Goku, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so then I know Dragon Ball.
Of course, that's all you need to know is Goku.
Well, I mean, I know there are other things in there. I actually watched some of that, so
I get it.
You know. But yeah, you can ask Phil. That is my that's the blank spot in my nerddom is the anime. I haven't done a lot of it, so I've seen a lot of it. I guess done a lot of it. Sounds.
Can I recommend you a show? I'm watching like a lot of show. I watch a lot of anime. I'll recommend you one show. Do you like D&D stuff?
Yes.
Actually. Yeah, I was gonna say on my channel I do something called Classified. We take your favorite fandoms and classify them into D&D classes. Okay.
My favorite show of this year, I've watched quite a few series, Delicious in Dungeon or Dungeon Meshi, which is on Netflix. Okay. So if you have Netflix, it's not too long. It's like 20-something episodes. It's adorable. The characters are all so much fun, beautifully animated, really funny, really heartfelt. Like when like bad stuff happens to these characters, like you're really emotionally affected. The dub is fantastic. I'm not in it, so I'm unbiased. I have a few friends that are in it, but I think they do an amazing job. It's the show that I've enjoyed the most, and it's not even over. There's a few more episodes left that they're airing, because they're adding new episodes week to week. But it's excellent, and it's all D&D. It's the story is these 4 D&D style like kind of high fantasy characters. It's a dwarf, an elf, a human, and oh gosh, what is Chilchuck? Oh my God, maybe a gnome. I'm bad with high fantasy Lord of the Rings stuff because I'm an idiot. That's my blanked in nerddom.
Oh, there you go.
And they add a beast, humanoid kind of character later on as well.
Druid?
What's up?
A druid, so like somebody who can like turn into animals.
No. They're like a cat beast person.
Oh,
yeah.
Not a tiefling.
Not a tiefling. No.
No.
They actually haven't had tieflings in the show just yet. But yeah, it's the 4 of them. They're all like wacky weirdos, but they're fun. And like when they get serious, like you really can take it seriously. But then when they're like freakish cartoon characters, it's so much fun. Yeah, I like legit tonight. Watch it if you have Netflix. It's incredible. It's such a fun show. Yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate that because I'm always looking for stuff to.
And also like because even if you're not like usually an anime person, it's so accessible. It's very 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 accessible for even if you're not an anime
watched
person.
Akira in the movie theaters, but that was like.
Okay, hold on. Which dub of Akira did you watch?
I have no idea. It was.
I'm really curious.
It was like maybe 6 years ago, but it may have been the original because it was like an anniversary thing for it, and we went to our local indie theater called the Circle Cinema, and we went and watched it in this like really small theater. It was really cool.
Cheesy do you remember it being? Was it like pretty grounded and like kind of semi-serious, Or
it was semi-serious, I'd say. It wasn't like too
was wait, no. Oh my god, I'm horrible. Phil, help me out. Which Tetsuo is the one that gets the gross arm, right? Not Kaneda. Kaneda's the biker, right?
Yeah, Kaneda's the biker, yeah.
Okay. Did Tetsuo, who gets the gross arm, did he have like a really high kind of voice that sounded kind of like this?
No, I would remember that.
Was he lower like this?
Mm-hmm. It was lower, like.
Okay, that's the old dub. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the old dub. Here's a funny thing. The old dub, Kaneda, the biker, is Cam Clark, who's the original Leonardo from Ninja Turtles, from the 80s Ninja Turtles. In the later dub, which was the more serious one, Kaneda is Johnny Ambosh, who is like many like leading anime characters, but he was also the second Black Power Ranger on the original Power Rangers as well. So and he's like Bash the Stampede on Trigun, and he's Ichigo from Bleach and all sorts of stuff. So
Johnny Young Bosch has done so much over the last few years. It's ridiculous.
And still is. Yeah, he's fantastic. Absolutely.
So since we're talking about stuff like that, who's your like pie in the sky? I really want to work with this person.
Oh
that
yeah,
you haven't worked with yet.
There's a lot. Justin Cook, who was he's now the head producer at Crunchyroll, formerly Funimation. He's like the biggest inspiration to how I became a voiceover actor, period. And I have directed him a little bit before, but not for my own stuff. I would love to work with him someday on something. I really like a lot of the old school Canadian Vancouver voice actors. I love Scott McNeil. I love Tabitha St. Germain, who was Rarity on My Little Pony. And Brian Drummond, who I've met now recently, who was the first English Vegeta from way back in the day on Dragon Ball Z. And Roger Craig Smith, who's Sonic, and Ezio, and lots of other stuff. He's amazing. He's a big inspiration to me. I've never met him before. I'd love to work with him someday. So there's a bunch. There's a bunch that I'd like to work with still. And also even my friends, my contemporaries, like Laura Stahl, who's in Delicious in Dungeon. I've not gotten to actually work with her before, and I really want to at some point. There's a whole bunch. There's so many amazing people in my business that I love the work of. So.
Well, that's great. And I I like that you want to work with your like colleagues and friends too, because that to me, that's, you can have like the person that your first crush, but then you people who are your contemporaries. It's also nice to
absolutely. Yeah, and I've been very fortunate, like with all the projects I've worked on that I do cast and create myself. I've had the opportunity to work with so many people, and actually it's funny, a lot of people that now have gone on to be like big, Kira Buckland, who's Jolene from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've known her for half my lifetime, and she was doing online amateur stuff like I was back in the day, and now she's like a superstar doing conventions every other weekend. Lizzie Freeman, who I worked with really early on in her career, and now she's super big for playing Pomni from Digital Circus. Just to name a few. Devin Mack, who taught me a lot, and he was one of the main characters in the Tome series, and he got to voice Sonic in the Sonic Prime series on Netflix as well.
Did you guys geek out about it though? Like, were you like?
Oh yeah, no. When we get to do like, I did like one episode of Dragon Ball, and I was like,
I think he just. Oh no!
We lost him.
Where'd you go?
We lost the Kerbifer! No!
Now? Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Your camera's gone. God damn it.
Hold on.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, camera.
Camera's gone.
Okay, whoop. Come back, please. No, hold up. HD web camera.
Switch it?
Please. It's not letting me do that. Come on, guys.
Come on.
Hold on, let me re-enter real quick. Give me one.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
While we wait for Kerbifer to come back.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to start watching a whole bunch of anime now?
Well, yeah, of course. I always I do that, but I don't know. I don't know half the stuff that you guys are talking. I don't know like 90% of the stuff you guys are talking about. So say Wong, it's Van's fault.
Did he say it? He said call tech support.
Call tech support. Tech issue. It's James's fault. He's not even in the
He's not even in the chat right
chat.
now. What a dick.
Ugh,
How do you not even support your own show? What the hell?
right? Yeah, you think. I just don't know how to. There we go. Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit. Oh, now he's here.
I think we got a return of the Kerbifer.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
But it's still saying device not connected. Hold on.
Yeah. I don't know. Haha, news layout. Nope. There we go. I'm playing with layouts now, everybody. So yeah, no. I really I want something to like get into it that where I can start it, because like Husby watches, like he loves Bleach and like, and I'm like, that's so much.
I mean,
I don't want it. I'm like, I don't know if I can. It's like
Bleach
somebody
is
trying
a
to get into
great
Doctor
show.
Who.
Yeah.
It's like, where do I jump in? So.
Bleach is a great show, though.
Yeah, no, and he's told me a little bit about it, but yeah, he'll watch animated stuff, and I'm like, you can just watch that by yourself. I'm good. So.
I mean, that's 90% of my wife was just like, you can watch it by yourself. I don't need to watch it with you.
Say Wong, watch My Hero. It's superheroes.
My Hero Academia is another really good show that I recently started getting into. So, My Hero Academia is like one of those shows, almost like how I was with.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's tried to. It won't let him connect to any of his stuff. Says it's not letting me turn on my mic or camera. And then he says I've tried like 3 times. So
I don't know if it's the app or not.
yeah, it could be the app.
I think he's joining from his computer though, so
Yeah,
might be something with the software.
it could be.
Shit.
Ugh. Well, I mean, we can. I don't know what to do.
I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this means he has to come back.
Yeah, that just means we need to book him for another show. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're gonna have to leave it with Kerbifer. He's got to get going anyways. Oh man, we have so much more that we need to say with Kerbifer. So he just needs to come back. We need to book him on another episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing it right now, so I look really weird right now. Hi guys, I look weird. Not that that's any different than anything else. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just told him thanks for coming. Oh well, we'll get him back.
I'll shoot him an email and we'll just say he needs to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
In honor of Kerbifer, for those of you who are here still, we are going to do a bracket that is again in honor of a man who got his start with like Newgrounds and early internet animation, like Flash animation and stuff. So what we're gonna do here, starting off, we're doing the best of the early internet animation.
And I'm actually doing a bracket. I'm gonna run this thing, maybe, sorta.
That's right. She is running the game. So guys, get ready because here we go.
We'll show off what you're doing on the Batmobile.
Okay,
since you're in the big.
Yeah. So the stickers that normally come with the kit, I can't find them. I must have dropped them somewhere, so I don't know.
You had one job.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to like go on a search because I pulled all the bags out and I looked through the instruction manual and I can't find the stickers. So they probably
how many bags? You said it was like over 100 bags or something.
No, it's like 20 something bags.
Okay, I was like, whoa.
But so far the Batmobile here. So the cockpit is mostly done in here. Mm-hmm. So like you can see kind of like the middle of the cockpit right there. The steering wheel actually moves the wheels.
Does it come with a little fig, a minifig, so that you can put him in there?
I mean, the minifig, he's kind of too small.
Oh. Well,
this
it's not bad though. I like it. Very
this
Michael
star.
Keaton.
He's too small to be Batman. And then there's like the pop out guns right here. But I don't think
Oh,
they
that's
actually
awesome.
pop out, right? Because like the guns actually come off and they have like little rounds on them,
Oh, okay.
right?
Well,
But
it is the '89 Batmobile, so
I mean, I let that slide because the '89 Batmobile did have like massive guns on the side of them that popped out on the side.
Sandra keeps saying, "Phil, the Oreos."
I mean, the Oreos aren't out yet. I can't eat them.
She said, "Jeff's wanting you to."
Oh, Tater's saying you lost the stickers. Oh no! Remember, this is his kit.
Yeah.
They're in here somewhere, dude. They more than likely probably fell out and like fell behind the table or something.
That might.
That
Okay.
might is the right one. So ladies and gentlemen, while we're still building here, let's get into this bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna try and. Oh, I don't know how. Okay, because I got the picture, so we're gonna do the pictures, and we're gonna do the picture of the bracket, and then I'll just put what we have, and then we'll just keep going. I'll figure it out.
Now, I kind of figured, guys, that I was going to get pictures for this just mainly because it is early internet stuff. And, you know, I don't know the age range, like 100% know the age range of everybody on here. So not everybody is going to know everything that was happening in the early internet.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to. Well, I don't know. I've got this picture up. And I know nothing. I'm like Jon Snow with this. I know nothing.
So again, this each of them go with the where it is in the bracket. So if you name off the one that's on the bracket, whatever.
Is this the Happy Tree Friends?
That is Happy Tree Friends.
Okay. But I can't swap them. We've figured out, right? I can't.
Yeah, so I'll take care of that for you.
Okay. All right. Cool. As I go back to my community days. All right. Okay, everyone. So it's early internet. Yay! And the first, I'm going to start at the top. So the first that we're doing is Happy Tree Friends versus the end of Z World. So we got, here we go. Oh, Sewong's already Happy Tree Friends. Is that your, Sewong, is that your vote? Or is that, you're just saying that is Happy Tree Friends?
Yes, that is 100% Happy Tree Friends.
Yes and yes. So I'm getting my notes up.
He's just like letting everybody know. Yes, that is Happy Tree Friends. I see what this is doing. All right, so check it out. What it just had me build right now.
Uh-huh. Here, I'm going to take these guys off.
There's a little crank, right? And the guns pop up.
Oh.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool. All right, let's put this guy back. Oh, ha ha ha. Now it took me off. Let's do that. There we go. I'm learning so much today.
So this is Happy Tree Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going Happy Tree Friends versus
the end of Z World.
The end of Z World. But I am late tired. Go ahead and take a nap. And then fires the missiles.
Is that kind of like the Natasha and Boris?
No. So there's the end of Z World was I almost just want to pull it up on YouTube just so we can like show it. But like end of Z World is basically this dude with like a really heavy, like almost Eastern European accent.
Okay.
And he's telling us like this whole reason why the world is going to end. And this thing was from like back in the day, but it eventually gets to there's going to be nuclear war because different countries have nuclear missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets to a point where he starts talking about every country sending out missiles, and he's like Canada does their okay, fire the missiles, righto. And he goes The Russians shoot theirs, motherland, and then the French, and he goes, fire the missiles, but I am late tired. Okay, take a nap, and then fire the missiles. Like it's really funny. And then
That's awesome.
at the end, he's got this, and it's like all these little crude drawings, right? So he's like, at the end, he goes, in the end, us Californians are gonna break off from the rest of the United States to go hang out with Hawaii. And it's got like California breaking off from the United States and just sitting next to Hawaii.
Yeah.
and he goes, Alaska could come too. The end. It's a really funny video. And then of course Happy Tree Friends, which became like a Netflix series, and there's a bunch of it's a whole bunch for those of you who are unfamiliar with Happy Tree Friends. It's a bunch of like cute, it starts off with like these cute little characters and progressively just gets really demented, and just everybody just, in the end, everybody dies. So it's like, happy. And again, there's no words or anything. They're all like squeaking and happy. And, they're these really cute animations, like, oh, things like that. And, at some point in every video, one of them kills everybody in the video. So it goes like really haywire in left field, right?
Oh wow.
Between the two, between End of Z World and Happy Tree Friends, I'm gonna go with Happy Tree Friends.
Okay. All right. And then okay, so Tater, what do you say? Because I got Say Wong, he said Happy Tree Friends. And DeLong family said Happy Tree Friends, and then Sandra said End of Z World. So we've got 1, 2. You said Happy Tree Friends, so that's 3 for Happy Tree Friends, and then we've got an End of Z World. And then I'm gonna vote. I haven't ever seen either one because hello, but I'm gonna go with Happy Tree Friends just because I enjoyed the really cutesy things like with no face and stuff. I just think that's adorable. So that's what I'm basing it on. Thank you for the pictures.
Yeah, that's fine. That's actually partially why I decided to do the pictures. So then that
like, Jen's not gonna know any of these.
Not necessarily for you. I did it more so for like, I didn't know who's gonna be in the chat. So I don't know who's been on the internet for how long. So it's like, some of this stuff, dates back to like the early days of the internet.
Yeah. Oh, Tater said Z World.
End of Z World.
Yeah.
And don't worry, at the end of this, Jen, I'm probably gonna post at least one video from all of these.
Oh, okay.
So then that way you get an idea of all the ones that are in there and which ones you voted for.
Oh, awesome. Okay. All right. And so anybody else want to do the voting thing? Happy Tree Friends versus End of Z World. I am late tired.
But I am late tired. I am nothing on Instagram right now.
You said Happy Tree Friends.
Yes.
So that takes us, that's 3 and the 4. So we have 4 for Happy Tree Friends and 2 for Z World.
Right.
So we got Happy Tree Friends going through, unless 3 more people come in and say Z World. But we're gonna say that the Happy Tree Friends goes through. So those cutesy little militaristic killing machines are going through, I guess. I'm just looking at the picture.
This is actually what I'm gonna do here. Check it out. I am, because they're all YouTube videos, so I'm just gonna play it on. I'm just gonna play one.
Okay.
So right there. Okay, so this is the very first episode of Happy Tree Friends.
Okay.
Young children, be aware of what is playing right now.
Wow. Yay! Well, that was cool.
So that's Happy Tree Friends. Here's End of Z World. Of course, people got reactions.
I'm about to cosplay that moose.
There it is right here. So
Platform provides balance.
That's awesome.
being made
And then
simple.
there's
They provide
oh wow,
a new
yeah. Hey, look at that. Apparently, you can get weird food in containers.
right. Okay. So now that we know Happy Tree Friends and End of Z World, now you know which one did you enjoy better?
Well, I would still say Happy Tree Friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And remember,
'Cause that-
Happy Tree Friends has like over 100 episodes now, and it's basically that same thing every time.
No, I like it. It's very like Looney Tunes extreme. to me.
Yes.
So yeah. So and I love stuff like that. So I'm totally. Although Z World, like End of Z World, is actually pretty good too. I do enjoy that. Who doesn't like some good geopolitical humor? I mean, come on.
I mean, I
So,
find that hilarious. I find End of Z World funny. Just in the end, I feel the staying power with Happy Tree Friends, and I just
Mhm.
find it funnier. Like it's the value of watching that over and over again. Maybe that just makes me fucking twisted, but I mean, like, I mean, it's entertaining, even though it's like very morbid.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just it dials into our bloodlust as a society.
Right.
Actually, they both do, but you know, so just in a different way. Okay, so the next two to go head to head, everyone, GI Joe PSAs
So good.
versus Charlie the Unicorn.
Oh God, both of these are both ridiculous. Are you familiar with either of these?
No, I am not familiar with anything on this list.
Oh
Maybe
my
red versus
God.
blue. Maybe.
You just hid on the internet your entire internet life.
Well, I mean, I'm immortal, so my entire life.
Well, your
Then-
entire internet life.
Yeah, I didn't really get into YouTube until probably last year, year before. Really.
A lot of this was like early internet stuff though. So it's like
Yeah.
before YouTube.
Yeah, no, I maybe saw some of it like back in the day, but I don't. Yeah. Mm-mm.
So the GI Joe PSA I'm gonna play is the most famous one, the most quoted one.
Okay.
So we'll pull that right here. It's called
Oh, Sandra says Charlie.
Nice. It's called pork chop sandwiches.
Okay.
Hi, we're Visible, the wireless company that makes things
That's visible.
visible. With us, what you see
You're not cooking. Yeah, dude.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out!
My God, did that smell good?
Detected, there's no going, and you tell me do things. I done running.
G.I. Joe!
Oh God. The
That's good.
GI Joe PSAs were the best. There's a couple of ones that are really good. But again, the pork chop sandwiches is the one that that's the one that got everybody into it. And I mean, the idea is at the end of the GI Joe show, they always had PSAs. Somebody just went and repurposed and
Yeah.
and redubbed them, and they're just that much funnier, right? It's kind of what Dragon Ball Z Abridged ended up becoming.
Right.
The other one is Charlie the Unicorn. We're just gonna play the first episode.
I
Again,
do really like murder corn, so
so
you know.
so Charlie the Unicorn is basically the same thing as not the same thing, but like it's kind of like similar to Happy Tree Friends. It's something that seems very innocuous and becomes really weird.
Okay.
So this is what I realized. This is the early internet is what spawned all of Adult Swim.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is like Adult Swim stuff.
Yeah, Adult Swim, because Candy Mountain came out way before Adult Swim was ever thought of.
Yeah.
right? And I
That's
think
probably why Adult Swim came into being, is because of this stuff. Literally, I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
yeah, because a lot of this stuff is very like I mean that's the vibe you get is it's just it's
Mhm.
all just you're just watching late night Adult Swim.
Right, yeah. While eating your Taco Bell.
Exactly. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you like Charlie the Unicorn or G.I. Joe PSAs?
It's so hard because I remember watching G.I. Joe and the stuff after it, and it was like, knowing is half the battle kind of thing. So I have some
Which is like part
nostalgia
of the
there.
joke. Yeah, that's like part of the joke that they have on that.
Yeah.
It's like G.I. Joe.
Right. And then, but I really enjoy the Charlie the Unicorn just because he's like, oh my God, I'm right here. What are you talking about? Kind of thing.
Oh God, what the hell is that? It's a Leopleurodon, Charlie. Magical Leopleurodon.
So I'm gonna have to do Charlie the Unicorn just because, yeah, that's exactly what unicorns would do. Because they're murder corns. They will kill you.
What's funny is we're gonna get into something. We have another thing on the list from the same animator.
Oh yeah.
That is like even more messed up. It's llamas with hats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that llamas with hats versus badgers, which we'll get to here in a minute. But I was like, oh, that one's probably going to be controversial for me because I'm like, it's llamas.
Llamas with hats. Those two are the only ones that have those creators have two things on the list.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because Weeble and Bob is also made by this. The Weeble and Bob is the original creator, and Weeble is the one that made Badgers.
Oh, okay. All right. Ooh, so that's like really getting into it then.
Yeah.
I vote for Charlie the Unicorn. What do you think?
I want to go G.I. Joe PSAs just because I just remember loving those, and again, the more you get into G.I. Joe PSAs, the funnier they get. But I think in the end, I end up going Charlie the Unicorn just because it had way more staying power on the internet.
Yeah, Charlie's getting a lot of love. Like Sandra, DeLong family, Say Wong all have voted. Tater, are you going to vote? Tater.
I think it helps that I'm actually playing the videos because then people actually know, like, oh man, I've never seen this. This is really funny. Where the fuck was I my entire I was a normal child if you didn't watch that shit. That's basically what it is. You weren't.
I was probably not a child when all of this was going on, though.
True, but I mean, again, Adult Swim. This is the kind of shit that it was meant for adults. It wasn't really meant for kids. Even though kids were the ones that were watching it.
Did you see the Beavis and Butthead SNL sketch?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you know how they were. Keenan was like, did you not watch Beavis and Butthead? And she was like, no, I was pretty and had a life. I want to say that. I was pretty and had a life. That's what I did. It probably what had happened was I had a toddler at home and couldn't watch all of this because I was really into the whole being a mom thing and toddlers and yeah. So.
And where you failed was you didn't let your toddler watch this the way that DeLong family is letting their kid watch it right now.
Right. Look, he watched some stuff that he probably shouldn't have watched, but that wasn't it. He got to watch a lot of Looney Tunes and stuff and Little Rascals and things. So okay, so Tater, it is G.I. Joe PSAs versus Charlie the Unicorn. So if you want to vote.
No, Charlie is not the Leopleurodon. I know you know this. You're just saying that. It's funny that Jeff says, oh, is it what is the Leopleurodon Charlie? Like, you helped me make this list, bro.
Right. I know. He's trying to, keep up his brand. Come on. That was why Bruce has a llama.
Oh yeah, Bruce cosplays. So their 9-year-old cosplays as one of the unicorns with hats.
Oh, or the llamas with hats.
Oh, the llamas with hats. Sorry, the llamas with hats. So we will see that later.
Yeah. Hmm.
What?
Our dogs had a little kerfuffle, and I'm looking at the wound that is healing up, but yeah, she really got her. Hopefully Gal won't mess with Proxy anymore.
Right, one of them sleeping.
Yeah, that's Gal actually. She's on the Raggedies and is pretending to run or something. I don't know. She's having a good old dream.
Can totally hear her snoring right now.
I'm trying to not like so that she's not in that REM sleep. So, but yeah, it's hard. And then I've got Proxies in front of me and Andy's off to the side of me. Apparently I have my own Secret Service detail, but it's all dogs. So that's about it for me. That's what happens in my life. I'm surrounded by animals at all times. So which is why when we were in Idaho, I was like, oh, dogs, let me go pet them. I needed my fluff fix, so to speak. All right. Well, I guess Tater's not gonna do that. So what you said Charlie the Unicorn, right?
I said Charlie the Unicorn, yeah.
Okay, and I'm saying Charlie the Unicorn. There were no G.I. Joe PSA. Oh, poor G.I. Joe.
Oh,
it's all Charlie the Unicorn.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chop sandwiches. So, all right. So next we have salad fingers versus red versus blue.
So I'm throwing this out there now. I am not going to play salad fingers. It is.
Is it too much?
It is so disturbing.
Okay.
Or okay, no, I'll play one. Hold on.
Try to find the least disturbing one.
I'm just gonna play the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, salad, and we all know red versus blue at this point.
I think I have seen red versus blue. So
yeah, most people have seen red versus blue. So
you that I was a communist spy.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah,
intense.
the sympathizer. Yeah. Tour de Force by Robert Downey Jr. Or not. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Hello. I like rusty spoons. I like to touch them. The feeling of rust.
Oh, this is very British.
Fingers
oh, it is
almost orgasmic.
Very British.
I must find the perfect spoon.
I remember my first time watching Solid Fingers. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
Hello there, young child. I'm here to inquire about your spoons.
It's fucking weird.
I'm voting for it. Because it's super creepy, and I won't ever be the same again.
Might I ask where you keep the spoons? I see. Then I must leave. But first, I'd like to caress this rusty kettle.
Like somebody came up with this.
Oh.
Yeah, that's messed up, but I love it.
Weird.
So I'm voting for it. Yeah.
And it progressively gets weirder and weirder the more you get into it.
Yeah.
So that, and then red versus blue, which, I mean, red versus blue is funny.
Yeah.
It was so.
No, it is. I like red versus blue.
Like red versus blue is so good. It got its own TV show.
Did you ever watch the Troopers? Troopers, the cops parody that they did with the Star Wars, the Imperial Troopers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's what it reminds. Like That's what these remind me of. Like all this is that kind of stuff.
So yeah, we're gonna do red versus blue versus salad fingers here. So
Yes.
I don't see anybody voting at all because people are
No.
probably like, I don't know. I'm turning it off. I'm not watching the salad finger shit.
Yeah. Sandra said red versus blue. I absolutely think I'm going to be the only one for salad fingers.
So yeah, salad fingers versus red versus blue. I mean, I'm voting for red versus blue. Not because salad fingers is not because it's super creepy, right? Like it's got its place and it has a massive following, right? Like salad fingers is not just some little small thing on the internet. Like whenever people talk about creepy shit on the internet, a lot of times people will talk about salad fingers.
Yeah, no. So there's a show that Husby wanted me to watch. I think I mentioned it to you guys. The daughter of the devil, daughter of Satan, or something. I can't. Hold on a second. Lucy, daughter of the devil.
Okay.
It gives off those kind of vibes. I think it was on Adult Swim, so it definitely is something like that. So that's why I'm like, that's why I was like, oh yeah, okay. But it's very like, it's out there, and it's by the guy that does Bob's Burgers and Archer, the guy that he plays the devil. So,
oh God. I'm forgetting his name right now. I know who you're talking about though. But yeah,
John H. Benjamin.
John Benjamin.
H. John Benjamin. Yes.
Yes.
I said it wrong.
Who actually, if anybody out there is a fan of God, see now I'm forgetting the name of another show. If anybody out there is a fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, they did a live action episode,
Mm-hmm.
and he played the live action Master Shake.
Oh, okay. All right. You said you were going to do red versus blue?
I'm doing red versus blue. I feel like red versus blue has more staying power. I feel like it's got a lot more influence, like on the pop culture. So yeah. I think I ultimately go with red versus blue.
You know, I feel like I'm doing the salad fingers because Graveyard's not here, and I feel like he would do salad fingers.
You're representing Graveyard with the
I'm like channeling him. We were talking last week doing New Order. We were talking about, and he was talking about how he's like, yeah, I really don't like grunge, and he was like, and there's one person that I really don't like in the grunge scene, and I was like, is it Eddie Vedder? And he was like, it is.
I didn't know he didn't like grunge.
Huh?
I didn't know he was anti-grunge.
Well, no, he's just saying he doesn't like it, but he was just saying he really doesn't like Eddie Vedder. I think that's what he was getting at. But it's just so funny when he was like, there's one character, there's one guy, and I was like, is it Eddie Vedder? And he was like, it is. So.
I mean, to be fair, Eddie Vedder's an ass, but I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, it was just funny because he was shocked that I just like said,
you
is
knew
it Eddie
exactly
Vedder?
who it was.
He just absolutely knew who it was. But yeah, it was really funny. I was just like, okay. So I feel like I was syncing up with him so that I could really channel him for some of these, just so everybody gets represented. So
yeah, so great representing Graveyard.
Repping the Graveyard.
Representing Graveyard. Frey with the salad fingers.
Salad fingers, which is like jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
All right, so red versus blue goes through because, of course, I kind of figured that would happen. Next, we've got llamas with hats.
Llamas with hats. Another. So think Charlie the Unicorn, right?
Yeah.
Llamas
versus badgers.
and badgers is a song. So
Is a song.
yes.
How did it make it into the? I guess because it's early internet doesn't necessarily mean.
It's still an internet video. It was a.
My ex-husband's name was Carl.
Oh God! So your ex-husband craves hands.
I don't know. I don't know what he craves now, but yeah, that was
Okay, so
just how people go, Carl.
Carl. Okay, so badgers.
Oh, I have seen those. Okay. Early internet was basically WTF the whole time.
I'm gonna end it at this just because it's just this over and
It just
over
keeps
again.
doing that over and over again.
So that's what we're doing. We're doing llamas with hats versus badgers. Now again, not that I don't like badgers, and I think that the reason I chose badgers over like owls or the one that everybody knows is narwhals.
Narwhal.
The narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion because they are so awesome. The reason I chose badgers over those ones is because badgers is the one that made them famous.
Oh yeah, it's the one that just put them right over the edge.
Right. Not that. I mean, again, what the one that everybody kind of learned about Weeble, Mr. Weeble, was Weeble and Bob, who's going to come up later. But Badgers is the one that kind of just made him, it put him on the map. And this was a Newgrounds video that everybody was kind of watching back in the day.
Yeah.
So
I like the Badgers. The animation's good.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about
the
Mr.
song. It's kind of like the Police did the song.
It's just repetitive. Roxanne! Yeah, so I'm voting for llamas with hats because it gets ridiculously funny.
Okay, so and Sandra said llamas, and Sewong, he said llamas, and I'm also saying llamas. So that's 4. Anybody else voting? We need your votes. Vote, vote, vote. Oh man. Tata, what do you say? I don't know, the hats. Okay, I was gonna say llamas, or I mean just llamas, just talking about killing people. It's very entertaining.
But Carl,
that's what kills people.
That's what kills people.
All right, so llamas moves forward. And then we've got, so we've got, hold on. Oh, okay. We've got Rejected versus I'm the Juggernaut bitch.
All right. Rejected is one of my all-time favorite internet videos. I'm not going to do the entire thing just because it's 10 minutes long.
Okay.
But there is a specific scene that always makes me laugh. There's 2 specific scenes, but one of them is way too graphic for this.
Okay.
Aptly named, the scene is called "My Anus is Bleeding."
All right,
for obvious reasons. Yeah, for obvious reasons. That's why I'm not playing that on the show, as much as I would like to. But there's another one, the one that the picture that's in the scene. So actually, hold on, let me pull this up. So the picture right there, that one. It's called My Spoon Is Too Big.
Okay.
Right.
You know, now I get like a lot of why certain animation is now a big deal. Now that we're looking at all of this. Huh. I'm like an archaeologist.
Exactly.
An internet archaeologist.
Plasma. Donate plasma today and receive up to $700.
Skip this one.
You can help create medicines that save lives while making a difference.
I hate unskippable videos.
Do the amazing.
Right.
My spoon is too big. My spoon is too big. My spoon is too big. I am a banana.
I am a banana. So Rejected is actually Rejected is actually a was a short film. That's why it's like 10 minutes, right?
Oh, okay.
And the film itself is about this guy worked for an advertising company, and he animates a whole bunch of things, and basically the animations come to life. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and at the end,
kind of Harold and the Purple Crayon grown up.
Yeah, so like, you know, and it's very like serious, but it's got like these little funny animations in between.
Okay.
And what happens is at the end, it shows him animating everything, and like there's like a storm that happens, and everything starts like it just starts going kind of crazy haywire, right? And like some of the animations get like thrown off the page and stuff like that. So it's a very fun, you know, like cross between live action and animation. Almost like harkening back to the days of like Walt Disney back in the day when Mickey would like walk around Walt's hand while he was drawing.
Right. Yeah. That's
Right.
cool.
So it's a very fun concept, right? But Rejected is up against
I'm Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Oh, did it not go to the right place? Oh, it's all the way back over here. Okay. It's I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Oh God. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna regret playing this one. But I'm the Juggernaut, bitch is probably, I mean, it spawned memes, it spawned an entire, like, basically in the shitty X-Men movie, the third one, X-Men 3, they put Juggernaut in that movie and literally just had him say that line because of this meme.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. It's like, no, that's terrible, right? But it's based on this.
Yeah, it's the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out you. Get off me, bitch. Who the fuck are you? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. You little motherfucker. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Silly bitch, your weapons cannot harm me. Don't you know who the fuck I am? I'm the Juggernaut. Hey. Oh, yes, motherfucker, I thought I forgot. Your mama does your ass. Charles. Shut the fuck up, Charles. I'm gonna beat your ass. Too fast.
Because you can hear the actors laughing in the background.
Yes.
Face, bitch. Don't you know the fuck I am? Oh, she's fucking with my helmet. I got this shit in 4th grade.
Oh, there you go.
My face. Pimp smack your ass, bitch. You my hooker now. That's time you take my prize. I'm gonna rape you, bitch. You ready? You ready? You ready, bitch? You ready, bitch? Shut the fuck up, Charles. Shut the fuck up. Charles, no! Charles, you got my head. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Charles! fuck is this shit? Oh, I'm tripping off acid.
You know boy boy body down, you know boy boy body down, you know boy boy body down, you know boy. Gotcha, bitch.
Oh,
Yeah, now what, motherfucker? Got
is that Black Tom Cassidy?
Bitch.
It is.
Shut up, bitch. Oh, this looks like the Punisher. I got my helmet back.
Help you out, motherfucker. Now where's my $50? You know you owe me, motherfucker, last time.
Motherfucker, I custom made your suit. Don't you see what the fuck I'm wearing? The Juggernaut, bitch.
I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are, you big looking motherfucker.
Don't you know I will beat the shit out your ass, Charles? I will beat the shit out you with Charles. As a matter of fact, I don't give a fuck. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh Lord.
That is the famous meme, and there's like 5 episodes of it, but I mean, like, that is the famous what became a meme. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Again,
already Sandra says Juggernaut.
Yeah, again, it is stupidly funny. That versus Rejected. Again, Rejected has, you have to watch the whole thing if you haven't watched the whole thing, because it's very irreverent, very funny, right? But at the same time, I can't play a 10-minute
right.
That being said, I think I do go with I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Okay. It was really funny, I have to say. So, it's hard for
who
me.
the fuck I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I did enjoy my spoon's too big.
My spoon is too big.
Very,
the one that I won't play, the my anus is bleeding. Basically, it's like he's like a little cloud.
Yeah.
Right? And it starts off with like the clouds dancing and having fun and having a good time when that's like a whole bunch of little clouds. And then all of a sudden it goes, oh no, my anus is bleeding. And basically it starts like blood starts like filling up, and then eventually it becomes like an ocean, and he's like drowning in the ocean of blood.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's again, it is very weird and very messed up. But it's funny when you watch it. I found that one when I was in the internet, when I was in the army, and that became like a joke, like a running joke when I was in the army. Like we would be doing like crazy, like we would be doing something, and just be like, my anus is bleeding, and people like, what
the fuck? Sorry, I can just see you guys.
For the love of God and all that is holy, my anus is bleeding. It's so messed up.
All right. Oh, and Say Wong is also saying Juggernaut. Apparently, you describing my anus is bleeding is swaying the chat.
Is it?
No,
okay.
they're swaying to the other
swaying
side.
towards the Juggernaut, right?
Yes.
I mean, ultimately, the Juggernaut is the funnier one. The Rejected is funny, but Juggernaut, again, like you could watch that scene 1,000 times and you're gonna laugh every time.
Yeah, Tater said Juggernaut. Sandra. Sewong.
I don't think there's a person with a sense of humor that wouldn't laugh at that.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
You know who the fuck I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
It gave me some Boondocks, a little bit of the Boondocks vibe.
Yeah, I can see that.
With was it a pimp called Switchback?
Yeah. Pimp called Switchback.
Mr. Switchback. No, it's a pimp called Switchback. We still quote stuff like that. It's hilarious. Yeah, Shadu is actually watching those with us. Like we've already seen them, but he's watching them. So it's been really funny.
Named Slickback.
Pimp named Slickback. Did I say Stitchback?
Switchback. Yeah, it's a pimp named
Switchback.
Slickback.
Slickback.
Played by Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Of course.
And that I always thought it was funny that like Charlie Murphy plays a white guy. Pimp named Slipback is a white guy.
Yeah. Well, and then was it Samuel L. Jackson plays somebody too?
Yeah, they like it's funny like the blackest dudes in Hollywood are playing like the whitest characters in the show.
Yeah.
But they're still but they're doing them as themselves, which makes it even funnier.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love that show. Again, probably, I feel like a lot of this stuff is the reason we have that stuff, like all this early internet stuff. Because if we hadn't, then we wouldn't have all that.
Right.
Okay, so anybody else? If not, Juggernaut bitch goes through.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Because Rejected didn't get any. So.
Oh, nobody voted for Rejected?
No, I almost did, but then I switched to Juggernaut because I was like, I don't know if Juggernaut's pretty epic. So
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. So now we are at time. We're at 2 hours.
Oh, we are at time.
Keep going. Yeah. I know. We have so much fun together. It's hard. Time just goes by so quick. But
yeah, no, this is really fun. And actually, we are doing a surprise, not surprise, but we are doing an extra episode next week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I do not know if you're going to be available for it.
I should be
on Monday.
Monday? Yeah, I should be. I should be able to. I'll be. Yeah, pencil me in for co-host.
I will do that then, because again, we have another guest coming on a Monday.
Monday.
Which you guys know we normally don't do Mondays, but we again this week Kevin Zolden from a comic book called Pizza Party Attestation.
Oh.
And I'll make sure I post that in the group chat for you guys to read.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, he's gonna be on Monday. And we're going to be continuing this best of the internet, which this has become a lot more fun than I planned it out to be.
I like it because like you playing like an episode or playing like a little bit of it.
Yeah,
it's nice because then you can actually do it. I like that a lot. And we can't do that with everything, obviously, but it's kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, so I like the idea of what we're doing right now. And we'll be able to continue doing what we're doing here. I'm just finishing up a couple pieces here.
No, you're fine. But yeah, we'll wrap it up. And we actually got like more than halfway through the first round.
Right.
Which I didn't know if we would or not. So.
I mean, it would have probably been faster if I didn't play the videos, but we like everybody here would have been like, I don't know what any of this shit is.
Yeah. Well, no, and also like some of the stuff, I mean, I'm sure people, even if they do know what it is, haven't seen it in a long time. So having kind of reshare or like remembering it, I think helps because, you may have been like, oh, Happy Tree Friends versus the End of the World. But then it's like, oh, but I'll just go Happy Tree Friends because I remember that one the most.
But, right. But then like playing it is like, oh man, now I like remember it.
Yeah. So.
Almost.
There's something else on Monday. Yeah, you do your game streams.
Yes. Now I may not be doing the game stream on Monday, mostly because I have a dentist appointment in the morning. And you know how you know how dentist appointments are. You get what you can get, and you don't have a choice. So.
Well, my mom was a dental assistant, so I actually just went in whenever. So.
Oh, see, I don't have that luxury.
Yeah, most people don't. And she hurt the hell out of me. So it's probably good that you didn't have a parent that would do that. Yeah, she poked me all over the place. It was, yeah. And then like she would try her, like when she'd learn a new technique, I got to be the one.
Oh, you were the guinea pig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So we'll be doing an extra show on Monday. I mean, if I can fit a game stream in between dentist appointment and stream, which I might be able to, then I may do that. I mean, the game that I'm playing right now is awesome. I'm playing the Mad Max video game in honor.
Oh, are you? Yeah, I saw that. You were saying that.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I bought when it came out, never played it, and I regret not playing it because it is a fucking awesome game. It's really good. But just so all you guys know what we got coming up, so it's going all the way back to the beginning here. So, Sponge Monkeys. Before Sponge Monkeys were before they were the mascots for Quiznos.
Yeah.
They had their own like internet show. Right. I remember it was they talked about it on like an interview that we saw these things on the internet and we were like, this would be amazing for an ad campaign, and they bought the rights to Sponge Monkeys and they became part of Quiznos.
Yeah.
So there's that. Weeble and Bob, which is the that Badgers cartoon. This is the cartoon that spawned it.
That reminds me of like what is it, Terrence and
Phillip. Yeah, that's actually what people say. They actually say that that's where they got some of the inspiration for the characters was Terrence and Phillips, or just Canadians in general from South Park.
Well, and then it's also Weebles Wobble, but they don't fall down. You remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
So there's that.
They were egg shaped.
Right. And then Schwifty5. Another early music video thing.
Okay.
But they they kind of spawned a lot of like internet culture. They were like one of the first internet memes on the internet in general.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right. So that's the reason I put it on the list, is because they're kind of like what made a lot of like internet culture what it was. 55. Then of course, this is called Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao. And Xiao Xiao was basically a dude went and animated like Bruce Lee martial arts shit.
Oh, cool.
And it was like stick figures fighting each other, and like a lot of people really got into it. So
oh, that's awesome. And it's very appropriate for Cam's question. How's the long black stick coming along?
Coming more and more, but there's still a lot. Of course, we did that. Joe Cartoon, which is probably one of the most inappropriate cartoons on this list. We will play a Joe Cartoon video. I just got to figure out which one. Could be Frog in a Blender, could be Gerbil in a Microwave. Already you can hear where this is going.
Yes, absolutely.
The one that we see on the screen right there, that is Joe Cartoon. And that one is called Spank the Monkey.
Oh, Cam, you missed Happy Tree Friends. That was the first.
We played the first.
One.
Yeah, we played the first episode of Happy Tree Friends. You missed it, man.
And Say Wong, Homestar Runner is what's going against Joe Cartoon.
Right.
So.
Homestar Runner goes up against Joe Cartoon. So we didn't forget Homestar Runner. It is on the list. Again, this is the way that this worked. It's RNG. So RNG picks the matchups. And this is just this happens to be where it landed, was Homestar Runners up against Joe Cartoon. So that's where we're going from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we've got like 3 matchups in this round, and then we're gonna go to the next round. So hopefully we'll be able to, I don't know, we might be able to get most of it done next week or Monday.
Right.
Yeah, we should. If we have 2 shows next week, then yeah, I bet we'll be done with that one.
Okay, yeah. Because now that you guys know where we're going with this and kind of like how this is all going to work, that's what we have left here. And it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now, because he wasn't planning on being on the show the entire time, Chris Niosi, who was our guest today, His guess is Homestar Runner is going to take the whole thing.
Yes, that's it. That was his prediction. Is
Yeah.
Homestar Runner is going to take the whole thing. So we'll see about that. So if you guys are like in a trolling mood, you'll vote it down on next week.
But yeah, his prediction is that Homestar Runner takes the entire thing.
It makes me want to vote for it, even though I have no idea what it is. I'm sure.
Homestar, you don't know Homestar Runner?
No, I don't know any of these. I told you that.
So have you ever heard of what was the song? Well, you used to play Guitar Hero, right?
No.
Really? That you didn't?
No, I never played Guitar Hero.
Oh man. They there was a song called Trogdor. Right? Trogdor the Dragon. And Homestar Runner is where that comes from.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's again one of the most like famous things that's out there. Like Homestar Runner, everybody knows Homestar Runner, like as far as people who like grew up on the internet. So
well, I appreciate that. I know nothing about this, so then you get to tell me all about all of it. And I feel that's really good for, the show.
right. So I'm gonna drop this real quick before we do our ending here. So again, this is where the Batmobile is. Again, it's still more skeleton than it is anything.
Yeah.
It basically just had me put in a couple details, like things on the side right here. It's like kind of like
you went to the junkyard and now you're
you're
building it up from bones.
One of the cool things on this is right here. If I twist this, the guns come up.
Oh, cool.
So those are gonna pop up from the bottom of the thing, kind of like in the first Batman movie when he drives up and shoots all the dudes, and they're like, they weren't expecting it. That's basically what that is. Those are gonna pop out of the hood of the Batmobile. But yeah, that is it. Let me switch cameras here.
Okay.
Let me move these fucking 30 bags. 30 bags worth of Lego.
30 bags of Lego.
Welcome from the future. That's right.
In the year 2525.
Sewong saying strong bad email, which is where that comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trogdor the Burninator. Trogdor. That's he put Burninator in there.
Wow. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
I really loved
Thank you for filling in. Thank you for filling in. We still have more videos to watch and more things to vote on. So with that being said, Jen, give everybody, I know you dropped one earlier, but give everybody your pluggables. Let everybody know where they can find you and what videos you got coming up and whatnot.
I really should just let Shadu just like film something and then just let you hit a button and he can just do all of it because he's so much better at it than I am. But so I have my own channel called Frey Girl, and it is me and Shadu we take your favorite fandoms and we classify them into D&D classes. It's called Classified. We also have a sister show called Journals of the Classes, where we go into all of the classes and the subclasses and kind of educate you on that. So if you guys are interested in that, please check it out at Frey Girl on YouTube. I'm at Frey Comics pretty much everywhere else. Then I'm also, normally I do Tuesdays for distance nerding, although I wasn't on Tuesday this week, and I'm on Thursday this week.
You've got a broken ass.
Yeah, I do. I broke my ass, so it's a whole thing.
I mean, it was a whole joke on the entire show, so it's fine.
Yes, it was. I broke my ass. And then, but then I'm also on Kyber Cave, which is one of our sister channels, and I'm doing something called The New Order right now, where we're filming it and then we're going to release it in episodes. And the first season is over, ends on a cliffhanger. And so that should be fun. Also, I do Nerd Out on Saturday mornings with Graveyard and Mezzo and Aubrey and Shadu and whoever else wants to show up on Saturday mornings to talk about nerdy stuff. But yeah, and it's different than the download. It is kind of newsy, but it's more just like in-depth stuff. And then we have like a Nerd Out segment where we really focus on like something we're really like digging right now. So, and that could be anything. I want to say Shadu did something on languages. So, you know, it can be anything. So definitely check that out. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome.
Oh, and the DeLong family asked, what cons am I going to be at? I don't know yet. I know we're not going to be able to go to Silver Age because it's in July and it's in Reno, and Mama doesn't do well with the heat. So it'll probably, I don't know which ones, hopefully sometime, I'm not sure which ones there are, but we will make it happen so that I can see lovely people in person and you guys can actually see Husby because again, he doesn't do digital, only live events. So
him and his wonderful, wonderful beard.
Yeah, it does have a pretty good beard.
It's fucking epic.
It's like it can get real, like it looks almost like octopus, like it like fans out. It's really amazing. I'm in awe of his beard.
His beard is pretty
it's
epic.
Air conditioning and the pool is indoor.
You know, I say that. I keep saying that, and she still doesn't want to. It's fine.
Oh, it's just a time in my life that I can't do a lot of heat.
So maybe next year.
Idaho, like he can tell you, I was in short sleeves in Idaho, and I was still like, it's hot in here. I'm sweating, and it was snowing.
Yeah.
When we got there, so that tells
100% true. She's not wrong there. So yes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. Of course, you can follow us on all of the places if it exists. We are there. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. It's not X. It's not X. It'll never be X. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and handles, the beard, and James's glasses staring at you on a table, just oh so seductively. So hot. If you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of Salad Fingers himself, send us an email at dist.
Oh, that went well. I feel bad for Chris.
I do too. I'm getting ready to send him an email.
Yeah.
He's on social media, but he doesn't really do social media, and he doesn't do DMs on the X. So I'm just gonna send him an email.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
From ensnerding@aol.com, and you can tell us anything you want us to know, and we will read it on the show. Again, I am going to send him an email from it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. I see Creepy Baby in her hand already. That means we are ready for the dance party. Let's get this going.
Poor Creepy Baby can't dance very well.
Is it
I gotta fix her head.
Yeah, I'm ready to be the bat that everybody needs.
Distance nerding.
Not the bat that everybody wants.
No, that's the Batman that says, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." This is who I would get to play Husby if we were to do a movie. Or Benedict Wong. Cuter Wonder Woman. You'll never be as cool as Cuter Wonder Woman.
See everybody next week.